911, what's your emergency?
Jeremy Ervin's life took a dark turn soon after his prison release. He found himself entangled with a woman and her 2 young daughters, aged 13 and 15. The accusations were shocking. Ervin had engaged in sexual acts with both minors on multiple occasions. This led to his arrest and a trial that exposed the grim details. In court, the jury heard first-hand accounts from the 2 girls, who bravely testified about their experiences. The weight of the evidence was overwhelming, and Ervin was found guilty on 5 counts of carnal knowledge of a juvenile and 2 counts of attempted felony. The consequences were swift and severe. The judge handed down a harsh sentence, condemning Ervin to 5 years of hard labor for each felony count, to be served consecutively. Additionally, he received a concurrent sentence of 2 years for the attempted felony charges. In total, Ervin faced a staggering prison term, with 15 years suspended, and the prospect of 5 years of supervised probation upon his eventual release. As part of his probation, Ervin would carry the label of a registered sex offender for 15 years, a constant reminder of his heinous crimes.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. My name is Steve Prater. I'm the chairman of the Committee on Parole for today. We're at the headquarters in Baton Rouge. To my left is Mr. Chuck Tillis. To my right is Mr. Danny Barra. The staff here at headquarters, if you would introduce yourselves, please.
Sure. Williams.
Okay, that's the staff here. The time is 9:05 right now, and the date is February the 13th. And you are, from what I understand, you're at Raymond Laborde, and would you introduce yourself to us?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Prater. Warden Marcus Myers.
Deputy Warden Nikki Shinbear. Raven Heath classification.
Trey Marie at the Records Department.
Jeremy Ervin. Okay, nice to see y'all, and thank you for being accommodating us today in this hearing. Let's see, Mr. Jeremy Ervin, is that you seated there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ervin, today is all about you. We're gonna give you an opportunity to tell us what you expected of us, what you'd like us to do, and why we should do that. We're gonna give you a chance to convince us of that, and then one of us in particular is going to lead the question of you, and then we're going to hear. Before that, we're going to hear from one of your supporters that's here, Mr. Sean Shepard. He's here to support you. We'll hear what he's got to say, and then we'll ask you some questions, and then we'll make our decision. You got all that straight?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. And what is your DOC number?
389956.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we'll go ahead then and get started. Since it's about you, let's hear what you got to say.
In 2012, I was charged with 7 counts of felony carnal knowledge of a juvenile. In 2016, I was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years. For my charge, for my actions, I am very sorry. I judged myself. I lived real deep within myself to find peace for what I'd done, because what I'd done was very horrible. And it hurt me every day to live, to know that I hurt somebody, I hurt a family as bad as I hurt them. And in that time period, I lost my mom, and it seemed like my world just fell completely apart. And I hated myself even more because I lost everything that I've ever wanted in life in such a small period of my life. And one day I awoke and said, man, this is not what my life should be. I should have took better control of my thoughts, my actions that led me to this. And as my mom would always say, that you were better than this. So every day I took something that my mom would tell me, and I would remember it, and I would hold on to it, and I would take a step forward to better understand why I was here, what I could do for myself while I'm here, and be a more mature person with my actions. And in that process, I've woken in myself a desire to want to live, to want to be a happy person, to want to help and not hurt. And I've applied myself to the best of my ability here to learn tools that I could use on a daily basis to help myself, to go forth, to look at high risk situations and be able to know who I can talk to, know what I should do, and knowing how to keep a cool head in situations that I have no control over. And for my actions, I would like to say that I'm sorry to my victim. I'm sorry for what I did. Words can't take back my actions. And I hope that what I've done has not taken that light from her, but has given her peace to know that I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to do everything I can to be a better person. And every day I try. To my family, I'm sorry for letting them down. I was trusted and I failed them. The community, I was offered a very generous plea bargain, and I turned it down, and I forced everybody to deal with what I was going through instead of stepping up, just taking my charge, taking what I've done and the responsibility for what I've done. And I'm sorry. I thank y'all for this opportunity. I stand truly a changed person today. A lot has happened in these years that has passed, and I stand deeply saddened and happy that I am a better person. I'm sad for where I come from, and I'm happy that I can use it to better myself every day. I thank y'all for this opportunity.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate those words. And somebody, Mr. Tillis, will be asking some questions in a few minutes when we turn it over to him. Warden, what kind of record are we dealing with here?
Well, Mr. Prater, Jeremy, he's done well since he's been here with us. He hasn't had a write-up. He's only had one write-up, which is, commendable. That was back in 2018. So many years ago, and he received just a verbal reprimand for that. Since his last hearing, we recommended at his last hearing, he needed more programming, because he did. And I'm happy to report that he has completed many things since his last hearing in February of 21. He's completed, all phases of the risk management. He's completed victim impact, which I think is very important, was very important. And he's completed that. He's completed living in balance, our substance abuse program, both phases of that, inside out dads, thinking for a change. He's worked hard in these last couple of years. So, I have to commend him for that. And he hasn't been a problem here. My only concern that I would note to the board, we talked about this yesterday in my meeting with him. He does not have a residency plan right now approved, which we know is a requirement and he will need. And he really has, right now, no job opportunities. He hasn't been able to secure anything of that nature. So, naturally, I would recommend, no matter the board's decision today, we need those things, especially the residency plan. Considering his changes.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. We appreciate that. Sean Shepard, would you go to the podium, please, sir, and talk to us and tell us, in 3 minutes or less what you, we don't mean to rush you, but we have to keep these hearings as they're going, and tell us why you think that, Jeremy is qualified to be out.
Okay, well, I know Jeremy. I married his mom in 2006, but I've known him for more than 30 years. He's a good-hearted person. The main reason that I came here to speak to this residency plan and all of that, I'm a chemical engineer. We were in South Africa. I married his mom. We lived in South Africa when he got out, and all this stuff started. I really regret that I wasn't here to help him get on track for that. But like I said, I'm a chemical engineer. For over 35 years with the company, I had the resources to make it happen. I owned some properties. That was the previous residence plan, was to get him out on one of those. Since he didn't get out the last time, we would kind of go back to that plan. He has, as well as a support network in Lake Charles, 3 brothers. One of them owns an environmental services company, so he will be able to get employment through that. He also has an aunt who cares for him very much. I mean, I think this time he's gone as far as he can inside of the system. He's taken as much of these classes as he can. I speak to him every Sunday. He works out. He's very much cares about his physical health. He's working in the garment factory. He's gone as far as he can inside of the system. I will give you my word that we will get him a plan. He can stay with me for a little while till we get him set up. I got a vehicle, get him a job. I came here to give you the other chance.
We thank you for that. Thank you for being the kind of friend you are and whatever to him. Okay, that's all. We don't have any other questions, I don't think of. Okay, Mr. Tillis, this is assigned to you, I believe, and would you
Yes.
lead the interview?
Good morning, Mr. Jeremy.
Good morning.
How are you? Tell me, I saw where you took about 26 classes. Which class impressed you the most?
The victim impact. I would say the victim impact because I was struggling to get in that class, and I actually wrote several letters asking for influence to be able to get into the class. Because I wanted the class because something inside me changed, and I wanted to hold myself more accountable, and I needed to find out how. And that's what I expected out of that class, to hold myself accountable for my actions. And in the class, I learned how that what I did not only affected me, but affected so many other people. And there's a bigger part of me that wants to bring awareness to. It happens so much that I didn't even realize it, that crimes are in every minute to every second to every hour. There's so many crimes happening, and the ripple effect from the crimes are horrible. And Miss Morgan that put it on, she was the perfect facilitator. And she helped us understand our actions and how it hurt many people and how we could use it to go forth and help others. And then I would say the positive one would be, thank you for a change, Mr. Staley. He taught us how to pause for a second and to think about what we're going to do in reaction to whatever situation, and to think about it and make a logical answer in our own mind, and to know that whatever we're thinking about is what's going to play out in our life. And those 2 classes, and many other classes, the parenting classes, because I've always wanted to be a father. I've always desired to be a father. And knowing that I'm the head of the house, so what I do determines what the family does. And I really hold that high in my heart, and hold myself more responsible, because I was the head. I crossed the line. And I'm
I
sorry.
see. Yeah, I see. At the time, were you doing drugs?
I was using, I hurt my back and I was using medicated, opioids, I guess you would say that, I don't remember the name of them, but they were high drugs. Prescription pills from the doctor.
I see. I have no more questions.
Yeah, I'm looking at your past criminal history. And I see that you were arrested 7 times, but 23 charges and 10 of them were against a person, and you actually have been convicted of 9 felonies. Most of them being simple burglary of an inhabited dwelling, but you got one that stands out, attempted first-degree murder and false imprisonment that you were convicted of. Can you tell me a little bit about that charge? What happened there?
Yes, sir. Me and my little brother, we were young at the time. And we both ran away from our family, from our mom and our dad, being very independent. And we wanted to go live with our dad in Indiana. And we stole a truck, got in a high-speed chase and jumped out the truck and fired a gun into the air. And I tell this story a lot because this story has helped me grow up. Because when I was younger, when cops started coming on the TV, my mom used to make us sit down and watch it to steer us away from crime. And the pattern that I seen was every time a gun was fired in the air, a person was able to get away. And I don't know how I made that split-second decision to fire a gun in the air. I don't even know why I had a gun on me, period, other than I was just scared to death, and it gave me some type of comfort. And I jumped out the truck and fired a gun in the air. And we fled the scene, and we thought we were running into an abandoned house, and the house was occupied. We stayed there a while. The occupants prayed with us, fed us, doctored us up, and we left. And we got into another altercation, and I was maced, and my little brother grabbed the gun and fired the gun in the air. And we got away again, and then sometime later we were apprehended.
So the false imprisonment comes in with going into the house that the people were in?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what was the point of all the burglaries? Y'all, you was on drugs then, or just for the fun of?
At that time, I was a runaway juvenile, hanging with the wrong crowd, and we were hotheads. We vandalized, stole anything to get high with.
So tell us why you think with that kind of criminal record that you would be a good case to release back to the streets. Why would you be a good case now? What's changed inside of you?
I judged myself, I found myself guilty, and I applied myself to learn, to correct, and to grow in maturity and in spirit every day. I've taken a lot of class. I've taken my incarceration serious. I didn't do anything to enjoy myself here. Every day I apply myself some way to understand why I'm here. I didn't have fun. My first incarceration, I had fun. I did everything that I wanted to do. Here, I didn't. I applied myself. I went to classes. I took part in speaking with people, helping people, and to grow. That was the only thing that would help me be more successful if I took this time and this opportunity of these classes and the people that are around me to grow.
And I see that in the beginning of this instant offense, this current case, you told the police that you didn't have anything to do with any of the victims, that you never touched anybody, never had sex with anybody. Sounds like today you changed that story, correct? You admit.
Yes, sir.
And what was the motivation for that? Why would you do something like that?
I was in a bad state, in a bad mind frame. I was very lonely and depressed. I lost my job. I lost my truck. I lost where I was living. My world was falling apart, and some way I tricked my mind into finding comfort in the foolishness I was in. And it was a very bad decision.
Okay, let me ask, when did you get sentenced?
2016.
2016.
Yes,
And
sir.
what was your sentence?
10 years.
And when is the state of Louisiana going to let you out regardless of our decision today?
Next year.
Next year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you plead guilty to the crime or were you found guilty by a jury?
I was found guilty by a jury.
So you made them go through the process. You didn't admit it until you
Yes,
got. And you're getting out next year anyway.
yes, sir.
That's all I got. Mr. Tillis, are you prepared to vote?
Yes. Mr. Jeremy, I see the remorse in you. I'm really happy to know that you're really trying to better yourself and following the warden's advice. Due to the victims and their concern, my vote's going to be to deny. But I do hope you continue to improve yourself so that when you do get out, that you will be a better person.
Thank you.
Parole.
I'm gonna concur with Mr. Tillis for the same reasons. And also the fact that you ranked as a moderate risk on a sex offender static 99, which still is a problem.
Okay, thank you. And I'll concur with my colleagues. I'm sorry to tell you, but that your parole request has been denied today. You're getting out next year anyway. We want to commend you on your attitude, on your classes that you've taken, stepping up and doing all that you need to do. I want to tell you, I believe in second chances and all, but I think you need to spend the rest of your term and your sentence. So anyway, that'll conclude this hearing. The time is 9:26. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your emergency?